It's the second part of our back-to-back 7 extravaganza. Following Probe 7 over and out, the 7th is made up of phantoms, returns us to a time travel story. Calling to mind episodes like Equality of Mercy and the Purple Testament, how does this military-based installment stack up? On June 25, 1876, 3 men under General George Custer's 7th Cavalry scout out Native American movements for the forthcoming battle. After one of them is shot in the back with an arrow, the other 2 begin firing off-screen. Close by, it's 1964, and 3 U.S. National Guardsmen named Connors, Langsford, and McCluskey react to the gunfire. They're in the middle of a training exercise and walk over to discover an authentic teepee in addition to a seemingly undamaged 7th Cavalry canteen. After hearing strange noises through gusts of wind, the trio report back to their commanding officer, Captain Dennett. Connors tries to explain the situation, but Dennett dismisses the absurd claims of Custer's last stand coming back to life. Sent back out to follow Rosebud Creek, Connors, Langsford, and McCluskey continue to encounter peculiar evidence that the past is somehow present. This was director Alan Crosland Jr.'s 3rd episode, all thus far written by Rod Serling. I think it's his weakest up to this point when compared to The Parallel and The Old Man in the Cave, but the 7th is made up of phantoms, doesn't come off like it has a directing problem, it's more Rod's script. We had seen similar concepts and framing devices in the previously mentioned Equality of Mercy and the Purple Testament. The idea of a superior officer not believing in the supernatural occurrences going on with the main character was covered okay in the latter. Equality of Mercy is a smaller time travel story with an interesting twist, and it has a bit more merit than this, since Serling was pulling from some of his own background as a soldier. The Season 5 episode here feels like it would only really appeal to history buffs or more specific aficionados of Custer's last stand. The idea of 2 time periods playing out concurrently is an intriguing one that I wish could have been used in a more captivating teleplay. Even the notion of the main characters literally chasing history sounds like a great pitch. It's just not executed in the most enthralling fashion. Something that could have helped with this viewer's engagement would have been a more personal character connection to Custer or the historical battle itself. Having some involvement from a Native American player would have made the narrative stand out among its peers as well. The acting in general is mostly fine in this, but Warren Oates as Corporal Richard Langsford went a little too far in his role as the skeptic, in my opinion.
You're gonna tell me that somewhere around that bend, we're gonna run into a war party of Sioux?
It really becomes obnoxious the 5th time he yells over everyone, denying the situation that's playing out right in front of them. Connors and McCluskey seem to be experts on the Battle of Little Bighorn, including every precise detail of the conflict, so having someone not as knowledgeable is a must to make this story work. But did he have to be so irritating?
What village? What do I have to tell you guys to straighten you out, huh? Tell me!
A few times, they bring up the real-life Captain Frederick William Benteen, who played a controversial role in the infamous battle. If you recall, Captain William Benteen was the lead character of Season 4's excellent installment On Thursday We Leave for Home. Serling was obviously very literate in history and seemed to have a particular fascination with Custer's last stand. Unfortunately, hearing about Captain Benteen just made me want to switch over to a more gripping episode. When Connors refuses to follow Dennett's orders, the captain sends out a troop to retrieve the trio and their tank. Attempting to abandon his compatriots, Langsford comes upon a vintage native village. McCluskey investigates and is shot in the back with an arrow for his troubles. They leave their tank and try to bring the injured private back to base, but walk right into the Battle of Little Bighorn. They then load up their weapons and charge into the fray. Near the Custer Battlefield National Monument, Dennett and his company find the tank, but don't have the same luck with the missing guardsmen. It's pointed out to the captain that Connors, McCluskey, and Langsford's names are etched into the memorial with the rest of the lost soldiers from 88 years prior. Dennett makes a comment about how they could have used the tank, before disregarding the coincidence and walking off, ending the episode.
I just seen the granddaddy all mirages. This one's sticking out of my back.
Dude walked all the way back from that village for the most dramatic fake death ever. It would have been a touch more interesting to leave McCluskey behind to tell the tale instead of having him rush in with the other fools to try and save Custer? Was this the battle worth dying for in the grand scheme of other historical events the Zone presented to us? It was pretty clear they weren't going to make a difference. In the end, the 7th is made up of phantoms, has poor pacing, is repetitive of other Zone concepts without adding many interesting new details, and is lacking in compelling characters. For me, this is another Season 5 skipper that doesn't represent the best of the Twilight Zone.
Arrivederci, you all.